Hello everyone! The Pipeline channel on Discord has a screenshot of the tech preview new inventory. This was an Evocati tech preview. Please keep this in mind, this might not go to live like that. And even if this goes to live like this, it might get changed later again and again in the many years to come. Remember, this is not exactly the first inventory rework. Reworks of reworks of reworks of reworks. The good thing is, we have now some kind of paper doll. Yeah! Almost every other game is using a paper doll because it's very easy to see what slots are filled and what slots are still empty and what items you might still be missing. But for whatever reason, Chris wanted to go with some kind of, hey, you have to look around your character, you have to check what items are on, and you have to turn the camera around your character in third-person view, which is not exactly any more immersive than just having a paper doll. I like this very much that we have now a paper doll. We have a move all button. I wonder how well this works. And you have certain tabs. You can also select of what containers you want to loot items or you want to put items in, because there's now area looting. If you open your inventory, everything in a radius of around 3 meters is available to you. A lot of games have area looting. Now finally CIG has this too. Very nice. But this is a tech preview and it wouldn't be CIG if there wouldn't be some issues with this. For example, you can loot items in overlapping hangars. A while ago, CIG gave us instanced personal hangars, but quite often they are unable to separate those. When you are in your personal instanced hangar, you can hear sounds of other personal instanced hangars, which shouldn't be possible, and hangars overlap quite often. You can also loot items behind walls and behind red doors. So you don't need a keycard, you can just stand close to the door and loot items behind the closed door. Hopefully CIG will put in a loss line of sight check. And item banks in 3.24 we got item banks and CIG has put them all over space stations and cities. And those item banks don't make any sense at all. The opening is way too small to get helmets, armor or things like a big railgun through, but they still work. Why not give us our local inventory back? I find local inventory not any less immersive than item banks that wouldn't even work, because how are you supposed to get a railgun through this very small slit? I don't know. If you play a game, we have to suspend our disbelief. This is fine. Games can still be immersive. I see no difference in suspending our disbelief when it comes to item banks or local inventory. Game can still be totally fine, totally immersive. Yeah, and now it turns out all those item banks are totally useless because they are not needed anymore. Yeah, Chris and CIG never have a plan, never have a concept, never think in advance and never think things through. Chris seems to think reworks of reworks of reworks of reworks don't cost time and money. Chris, they do. And there's an issue with ships that have multiple storage locations and party members. If one player opens his inventory, every storage item in a radius of around 3 meters is locked now and can only be accessed by this one player. Not good for multiplayer. Party members have to wait. Still, I'm looking very forward to the new inventory system because the old one was absolutely terrible. You need way too many clicks to do basic things. And having to use third-person view, move the camera around your character to see what items are still missing, or to place items on your body, was not exactly very immersive. There are reports that icons and items are now loading much quicker in the tech preview inventory. However, I would be very cautious with this. There were not many players on one server shard, and this server shard was on only for a few hours, not for days and weeks. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. I've removed 4 of her shield generators. Okay, one, one glitch through the floor. We still have this. We are still having things glitching through the floor. Okay, 2 glitched through the floor. 10 out of 10, Chris. And shield number 4 removed. And again, it clipped through the floor. And here we have the shield generator that fell through the floor. I don't get it, Chris. You want us to do repairs in the middle of a battle. You want us to change components in the middle of a battle. But your game is still clip galore. Items and players are clipping in and out of ships. Players are clipping through doors to get loot because you, Chris, you cannot fix the massive clipping issues your game in year 14 still has. Okay, now. And again, it glitched through the floor. Chris, when will you ever fix this? Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.